Tenge Productions here. Okay. Had an interesting venue come in today. So, as an allotment for Port City, this is a debate going around town. Okay, I talked to a couple of friends today and had a little discussion going around. So, in our state, we have a lot of international travelers. It's also very expensive to just travel here naturally. And a discussion came up within the insurance of ride shares. Okay. Um, for the populace of Alaska and the travelers to it, international communities and southern states or Canadians or Russians, Chinese, pretty much Southeast Asia, and the rest of the United States. Um, since we are kind of a port city and we do like our tourists, we are very big fans of our tourists. The locals here thought it would be kind of a decent idea to, if you flew in, okay, uh, to allot your travel and ease um, while in the state of Alaska. We thought it would might be a good idea to allow people driving around to, if you needed a ride, okay, and you're like a backpacker or something along those lines, and we didn't want you getting lost and stuff like that. We thought it would be okay if a local picked you up to charge the traveler $15 per ride, but not right away. So later on, basically, as you travel around Alaska, it's very vast. It's very, very large. So $15 per ride is not. That's like here to like not even the next town. So you can go hundreds. I mean, it's 6.5 hours to Fairbanks from here. It's like the nearest closest town. You know what I mean? So, for travelers like that, the state of Alaska was thinking of proposing an initiative and probably putting it on a ballot. Okay, we got the news first, and if it's proposed and put on a ballot and voted for by the city, then what happens is, as a traveler, you travel in, you can do all your little business assignments, assertions, but if you're only here for a selective time of less than 2 years, okay, if you're only visiting and you're here less than 2 years, if you don't claim permanent residence here, what happens is when you go, let's say you fly in from China and you visit around and then you fly out to China, okay? All the rides you took for 2 years, when you fly out, once you land home and you have your regular residence, all we do is send you an overtime small payment of the allotment filled for travel. So basically, once you go home, we send you the whole bill and then the monthly bill, like little bits, and maybe charge it out over like, the same time you were here, about, 2 years, something like that. So if it's an allotment of less than 2 years of travel, if you fly in and you want to travel around and stuff like that, we don't mind the tourists. But then when you do fly out, since it is like a port city, then all we do is basically contact the embassy and send them a bill that you can pay over time. And what that does is that supports the locals in logistics. It supports our Lyft. It supports our taxis, our Ubers. Supports our airplanes. It supports our boats. So you take a boat out, you know what I mean, and they know it's a minimum $15. The rest of that is they charge you for like fishing gear and stuff like that. But what it does is it allows, if you're visiting in the cold, it allows us to keep you relatively mobile and safe. And then at the same time, it allows you to see our state. And our state is not a small state. Our state's square mileage is about the size of half, or like about a little bit over a third of the entire continental United States. So it's quite the large landmass with not a lot of people to help you. So the initiative will probably be proposed to a ballot, and then just leave a comment below what you think about it. and your hums, your haws, that kind of thing. But if you're local claiming residence here, that means uh, if you see a little backpacking traveler and they're on their way, and you can, if you feel like it, you can stop and say, hey, do you wanna ride? You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we're very busy, and it's not very convenient for these people to stop because it is a hustle and bustle city with a large landmass that doesn't have a lot of people that are kind of dedicated to that. But that means a cabbie can just pick you up. And for the locals, we just play a standard cab fare with a regular AKID. And then for foreigners with a passport or something like that, uh, we know to just basically take your name info, where you came from, and then just list it to a log. And then basically they'll shell that log out, the taxis and the Ubers and the Lyft. They'll shell those lists out to airports, and then embassy send out, and then it just does contact embassy billing. And what it does is it allows people to see our beautiful state. We love our beautiful state. We love our beautiful people, and it helps local funding for people who, if we ain't got nothing to do, we just hop outside and be like, hey, I know this spot. You know what I mean? You want to go see something beautiful? And just take you out and blow your mind. That's what we do here. So, uh, it's probably going to be on an initiative ballot. Leave a comment below. Let me know thoughts, prayers, thinkings. And it's Tenge Production on the front line of news to you for today.